Here one problem given, prove that if E comma F are independent events, then so are the events E and F dash. Given that E and F are independent events, then we have to prove that the event E and F dash means the complementary event of F, are also independent. Now for this, already given that E comma F are independent events. E comma F are independent events. When the two events are independent, then intersection of the events E intersection F, probability of E intersection F is equal to P of E into P of F. So it is already we have proved. Now to prove E and F dash are independent events, it is enough to prove that the probability of E intersection F dash is equal to probability of E into probability of F dash. Now let us see. For this I am taking one Venn diagram. Let us consider the two events E and F. It is one event E, it is second event F. We know that this is the intersection of the two events known as E intersection F, and this part is E intersection F complement. So this is the region belongs to E but not in F. Okay, now from the diagram, we can consider the event E is equal to, we can take the event E is equal to E intersection F dash union E intersection F. Moreover, these two events are disjoint events. There is no intersection path between these two. And also E intersection F dash intersection E intersection F is equal to 5. Now let us take probability on both sides. The probability of E is equal to the probability of E intersection F dash union E intersection F, that is equal to, we know that the probability of A and B is equal to P of A plus P of B when A intersection B is equal to 5. So that is the axiom in probability. According to that, we can write it as the probability of E intersection F dash plus probability of E intersection A. Now from this equation, P of E intersection F dash is equal to probability of E minus the probability of E intersection F. Now this is equal to P of E minus, we have probability of E intersection F is equal to P of E into P of F. P of E into P of F. When we take probability of E common, then what? It is 1 minus probability of F. Therefore, it is probability of E into 1 minus probability of F is equal to probability of F complement. Therefore, the probability of E intersection F dash is proved as P of E into P of F dash. Hence P of E intersection F dash is proved as P of E into P of F dash. Therefore, the two events E comma F dash are independent events. Okay. And once you remember that if any two events E comma F are independent, then E comma F are independent, E dash comma F are also independent, and E comma F dash are also independent. Just now we proved. And third one, E dash comma F dash are also independent. So E comma F are independent events. Then these three conditions hold. E complement comma F independent, E comma F complement independent, E complement comma F complement are also independent events. Now there is one more problem on independent events. A comma B are two independent events, then the probability of occurrence of at least one of A and B is given by 1 minus P of A dash into P of B dash. A comma B are independent events. Given that A comma B are independent events. Therefore, the probability of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B. Now, we have to find that the probability of occurrence of at least one of A and B. That is the probability of occurrence of at least one of A and B is equal to the probability of either A or B, A union B. Now probability of A union B is equal to, by addition theorem, P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Now this is equal to the probability of A plus probability of B minus, we know that P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B. Now this is P of A plus, look here, we can get probability of B common from these two terms. When we take that much term common, it is 1 minus P of A. Now this is equal to the probability of A plus probability of B into 1 minus P of A is equal to P of A dash. And of course, we can write the probability of A as 1 minus P of A dash. Probability of A means that the probability of occurrence of A, which is equals to 1 minus probability of non-occurrence of A, plus the probability of B into probability of A dash. This is equal to 1 minus, once again we can get P of A dash common from these two terms. When we take that much term common, it is 1 minus P of B. Therefore, 1 minus P of A dash into 1 minus P of B is equal to P of B dash. Therefore, the probability of occurrence of at least of one of A and B is equals to 1 minus P of A dash into P of B dash. That means 1 minus probability of non-occurrence of A and the probability of non-occurrence of B. Now, it is the problem that the probability of solving a specific problem independently by A and B are 1 by 2, 1 by 3 respectively. The probability of solving a specified problem by A is 1 by 2 and the probability for B to solve the same problem is 1 by 3. If both try to solve the problem independently, then find the probability that problem is solved and exactly one of them solve the problem. Okay, given that the probability of A, that means the probability of A is equal to the probability that the specified problem is solved by A. The problem is solved by A, that is equal to 1 by 2, and P of B is equal to the probability that the problem is solved by B, that is equal to 1 by 3. Now, if both try the same problem independently, then what is the probability that the problem is solved? First bit, probability that the problem is solved. You know, when does the problem solves? If at least one of them solve the problem, then only the problem will be solved. Therefore, probability that problem is solved means that the probability that at least one of A comma B solve the problem. At least one of A comma B solve the problem. Now the probability of problem is solved is equal to probability of at least one of A comma B solve the problem. That means either A solve the problem or B solve the problem or both can solve the problem. And what is the complementary event to this? The complementary event of at least one of A comma B solve the problem is no one solving the problem. So that let us find the probability of its complementary event and subtract from 1. That is, we can write it as 1 minus probability that no one solve the problem. No one solve the problem. That is equal to 1 minus P of A bar, no one solve the problem. Neither A nor B solve the problem. That is probability of A bar intersection B bar. We know that A bar comma B bar are also independent since A comma B are independent. Hence we can write it as P of A bar intersection B bar is equal to P of A bar into P of B bar. Now this is equal to 1 minus P of A bar is equal to 1 minus P of A into P of B bar is equal to 1 minus P of B. Now this is equal to 1 minus the probability of A. It is given that 1 by 2 into 1 minus probability of B given that 1 by 3. Therefore 1 minus 1 by 2 1 by 2 into 1 minus 1 by 3 2 by 3, that is equal to 2 gets cancelled. It is 1 minus 1 by 3 is equal to 2 by 3. Therefore, the probability that the problem is solved by any one of them or both is equal to 2 by 3. Now, there is another bit. Exactly one of them solve the problem. Second one, the probability that exactly one solve the problem. Exactly one solve the, that means when A solves the problem, B cannot, and B solves the problem, A cannot. So that A solves at the same time B cannot, B bar, or A cannot solve the problem at the same time B can solve the problem. Now this can be taken as P of A into P of B bar plus P of A bar into P of B. Now this is equal to P of A is equal to 1 by 2 into, P of B bar is equal to 1 minus P of B, that is 1 by 3, plus P of A bar is equal to 1 minus 1 by 2 into P of B is equal to 1 by 3. Now on solving this, it is 1 by 2 into 2 by 3, that is 1 by 3 plus 1 by 2 into 1 by 3, 1 by 6. Now if we take LCM 6, then the numerator become 2 plus 1 3, 3 by 6 is equal to 1 by 2. Now here one theorem, that is theorem of total probability. The statement of the theorem is, suppose E1, E2, E3, so on En are n mutually exclusive mutually exclusive and exhaustive events with each probability greater than 0 with the P of ei greater than 0 for all I is equal to 1, 2, 3 so on up to n, and A be any event in sample space S of a random experiment with the probability of A is not equals to 0, then the probability of A is equal to probability of E1 into probability of A by E1 plus probability of E2 into probability of A by E2 plus so on probability of En into probability of A by En, and of course it is also known as the sigma, the probability of Ei into probability of A by Ei, where I is equal to 1 to n. Now this is the statement of the theorem. Suppose E1, E2, E3 and so on En are n mutually exclusive and exhaustive events of a random experiment with each probability greater than 0, and A be one more event in the sample space with the probability not equals to 0, then the probability of A is equal to probability of E1, probability of A by E1 plus P of E2 into P of A by E2 and so on P of En into P of A by En. It is equals to the sigma P of Ei into P of A by Ei, where I is equal to 1 to n. Now let us prove this. Now in the statement given, E1, E2, E3 and so on En are mutually exclusive and exhaustive events. E1, E2, E3 so on En are mutually exclusive and exhaustive events. We know that mutually exclusive means intersection of the two events is always phi, and exhaustive events means union of all the events is equal to sample spaces. Therefore, here E1 to En are mutually exclusive. Therefore, the intersection between any two events is equal to phi. That is, Ei intersection Ej is equal to phi for all I comma j. Whatever the two events are chosen from E1 to En, their intersection is always equals to phi. And exhaustive means union of all the events like E1 union, E2 union, E3 union and so on union. En is equal to sample space S. Now this implies that we can write all these unions in the form of union of Ei, where I is equal to 1 to n is equal to S. Okay. Now A be another event, A be any event in the sample space S with the probability of A not equals to 0. Since A is a event in the sample spaces, A is always subset to S. Therefore, what about A intersection S? A intersection S is always equals to A. This implies A is equal to A intersection S. A intersection, but S is equal to what? Union of EI, where I is equal to 1 to n. Now this is equal to A intersection. Now when we consider all the sets, then it is E1 union, E2 union, E3 union and so on union. En is equal to that's all. And now this is equal to A intersection E1. You know, it is the distributive law under union. A intersection E1 union, A intersection E2 union, A intersection E3 union and so on union, A intersection En. A is equal to. Now, you know, all these events are disjoint events because of E1, E2, E3 and so on En are n mutually exclusive events. All are mutually exclusive. So there is no intersection part between these n events. This is E1, it is E2, this is E3, it is E4, it is E5, like this. Now these are the events like that, E1, E2, E3 and so on. Let it be some En. Now A be the event that connecting with all these events. Now this is the event A. It has intersection with all these n events. It is A intersection E1. This is A intersection E2. This is A intersection E3 and so on. Continue like that. This will be A intersection En. Now here all these intersections with A are also disjoint. And also we have A intersection EI intersection A intersection EJ is equal to phi for all I comma j. If any two events are considered here, then they should have intersection part is equal to phi.